Hey, TaxBots. I'm Justin from Legal Aid of Southeast and Central Ohio, and I'm here with Megan, an attorney with our tax team here at Lasco. And we're excited to welcome two guests to today's tax chat. For those of you who don't already know them, we'd like to introduce Hannah with United Way of Central Ohio's Tax Time program, and Tim Tucker, excuse me, who volunteers with both Legal Aid and Tax Time. Today, we'll be talking about filing tax returns and getting free tax prep help. Tim, just to get us started today, let's start out with a question we get a lot, especially this time of year. Who should file a tax return?
So for 2024 taxes, you have to file a tax return if any of the following are true. First, if you had taxable income of at least $14,000, $14,600 as a single filer. If you're filing jointly with a spouse or as head of household, that amount is higher. For joint filers, you need to file a return if your income is over 29,200. For head of household, that amount is 21,900. Second, if you're self-employed and earn $400 or more, you would need to file. This includes money from driving for companies like Uber or Lyft, or income you earn doing things like mowing lawns or other odd jobs. And third, if you have earned income of just $5 or more and are filing using the married filing separate status.
So, Megan, even if I don't have to file a tax return, are there reasons I would still want to?
Definitely. You may be eligible for a tax refund even if you're not required to file a tax return. In other words, if you had taxes withheld from your paychecks or if you qualify for tax credits, you could be receiving money back from the government.
Let's say I haven't filed in past years. Can I still file, Megan?
Yes, you can still file for past years. You should file any required tax returns as soon as possible. If you file late on a tax return where you owe the IRS does charge penalties. So the sooner you file, the less you'll pay in penalties. On the other hand, if you're owed money on the return and you're going to be getting what we call a refund, you can file that tax return to claim the refund within 3 years of the original due date of the return. For example, that means you can still claim a refund for tax year 2021 until April 15th of 2025. You can claim your 2022 refund until April 15th of 2026, your 2023 refund until April 15th of 2027, and so on.
So, Megan, can you explain to our viewers why they should be especially sure to file for tax year 2021 before the April 15th deadline if they haven't already?
Absolutely. Taxpayers who did not get their $1,400 pandemic stimulus payment in 2021 can still file a tax return to claim it. Any person who could not be claimed as a dependent on someone else's tax return and could claim the stimulus payment for themselves and any of their dependents. For 2021, there were also big changes for the child tax credit. The credit was increased to $3,000 per child for kids ages 6 through 17 and $3,600 for children ages 5 and under. On top of that increased amount of the credit was also what we call refundable. Refundable means that if your credit is more than the tax you owe, you receive the difference back as a refund from the IRS. In most years, that credit is only partially refundable and only refundable if the taxpayer earned money through work that year. But for 2021, the taxpayer didn't need to have earned income to get the child tax credit as a refund. If your child, niece, or nephew or grandchild lived with you for more than half of 2021, you could claim the credit and the refund if you file by April 15th, 2025.
Megan, what should I do if I'm looking for help preparing my taxes?
If you qualify, I recommend that you get your taxes prepared by a trained volunteer through Tax Time or other free tax preparation services.
Great. So, Hannah, can you tell us a little bit about tax time?
Sure. United Way's Tax Time program provides free tax preparation services for low and middle income households. Tax Time can help families claim tax deductions and refundable credits, avoid expensive tax preparation fees, and connect to free financial literacy and legal help. In fact, last year, Tax Time served 13,885 Central Ohio clients and returned $14.4 million to low and middle income households. That's an average of more than $1,671 per client. Tax Time also saved Central Ohio taxpayers $3.4 million in tax preparation fees and helped people claim $4 million in child tax credits and earn income tax credits. If your household had an annual income of $67,000 or less, you probably qualify for our free services. If you live in Central Ohio, you can schedule a virtual or in-person appointment with our team by calling 211 or by scheduling online through our website at liveunitedcentralohio.org/tax time.
Tim, what returns can Tax Time prepare?
Tax Time can prepare returns for households with income less than $67,000. Tax Time can prepare returns for people who receive income from employment, self-employment, or small business, as long as the business does not report a loss, interest, dividends, unemployment benefits, retirement and pension income, Social Security benefits, and sale of stocks and other investments.
Megan, so far we've talked a lot about services that Central Ohioans can get. What kinds of options are there for taxpayers outside of Franklin County?
For those outside of Franklin County or Central Ohio, specifically most of Southern and Eastern Ohio, there are several free options for tax preparation. First, you can call 211, which is available in many counties. You can also contact your local United Way. Many of them host a VITA site, Volunteer Income Taxpayer Assistance site. If they don't host a site, they can usually direct you to other tax preparation options. If you visit irs.treasury.gov/free tax prep, you'll be able to search for VITA sites by zip code. All Ohio residents can search for local tax preparation sites at AARP TaxAid at taxaid, spelled with an E, .aarpfoundation.org to schedule appointments with trained volunteers. You can also Google AARP TaxAid. No, it'll lead you right there. They offer in-person, remote, and hybrid appointments. You can also get help remotely at www.getyourrefund.org, where you can get virtual tax preparation help from trained volunteers in English and Spanish.
Thanks, Megan. And a quick note to our viewers. I know we've mentioned a lot of websites today, but don't worry, I will drop those links in the comments in case you want to follow them. Hannah, what if I want to prepare my own return? Do I have to pay for that?
You can file your own returns for free using these online options. So again, if you're in Franklin County, you can visit United Way's website for resources at www.liveunitedcentralohio.org/tax time, or you can just Google United Way tax time and that website should pop up for you. You can also use these websites whether you live in Franklin County or not. First, you can use Get Your Refunds Do-It-Yourself service at www.getyourrefund.org/DIY. You can also file for free on the IRS website at www.irs.gov/free file. And then finally, myfreetaxes.com gives you the option to do your own taxes or get help finding a free tax preparer.
Megan, what if someone doesn't qualify for free tax preparation and they need to find a reliable paid preparer? Are there things they should look for if they need to hire someone to prepare their taxes?
Yes. When choosing a private preparer, there are a few things you should look for before hiring them. First, you should make sure that they operate year-round, not just during tax season. Make sure they ask a lot of questions about your income, family, and living situation, business expenses, and more. They have a physical office, that they tell you the cost upfront to prepare your taxes, that they sign the tax return, and that they have a preparer tax identification number or PTIN. This is a number that a tax preparer has to put on a tax return to make sure the IRS can identify the person who prepared it. Basically, having a PTIN means the tax preparer has taken the right steps to register with the IRS and that they can be identified if something goes wrong.
Megan, what kind of warning signs are there that I'm dealing with a bad tax preparer?
Great question. A lot of people come to us looking for help at Legal Aid when they run into problems with the IRS after using a bad preparer. There are several red flags that mean you're probably talking to a bad preparer and should avoid them. First, they say they want to deposit the refund into their own account. They connect with you mostly via text and social media. They don't give you a copy of the tax return before filing it. They don't ask a lot of questions. And finally, this is a big one. You should always look out for preparers who promise you a larger refund than other companies. Any qualified tax preparer should be able to get you the largest tax refund you can get. Getting more than that means you'll have to pay it back to the IRS. You should also avoid having your taxes prepared by a friend or anyone else you know who doesn't have an actual tax preparation business. Even people who mean well can create expensive problems for you if they aren't qualified.
So Tim, what documents should a taxpayer bring to a tax preparation appointment?
There are several documents that you should have with you during a tax prep appointment. These documents include a valid photo ID and social security cards or proof of your individual taxpayer identification number for everybody that's on the return. It's also very important to bring all your tax forms like W-2s and 1099s. If you got a tax form in the mail or through your employer, be sure to bring that to the appointment, even if it doesn't seem important. If you're self-employed, make sure you bring information about your business expenses. If you want to direct deposit your refund, make sure you have your banking information, your account number and routing number. And depending on the situation, there may be other documents you need to bring. To see the full list, check out our FAQ section of the Tax Time Central Ohio's website. Again, that address is Live United Central Ohio, all one word, .org/tax time.
Megan, how can Legal Aid's tax team help?
Well, we don't prepare tax returns, but we do represent people who are having problems with the IRS. If you get an IRS notice, or if you filed your return or amended return with the IRS more than 6 months ago and still haven't gotten a response, you should reach out. You can apply for help with Legal Aid of Southeast and Central Ohio online at www.lasco.org/apply, or find your local low-income taxpayer clinic at www.irs.gov/LITC.
Okay, great. Lots of URLs today. Don't worry, they're going in the comments. Thank you, Hannah, Megan, and Tim, and thanks to everyone for watching. We'll see you on March 7th when we talk about choosing a filing status based on your needs and personal situation. As a reminder, this session and all our other tax chat videos are available on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you next time.